Hello everyone, my name is Dmitrii and welcome to my channel. Today is a little bit experimental video. 3 years ago, me and my wife started traveling around the world and so she's a guest today in my video.
Hello everyone!
So we've been traveling and digital nomading for the last 3 years, and today we want to quickly observe all these 3 years, what we've been doing and what experience we had. And afterwards we will share some tips and lessons learned with you. Let's go! Let's start from the beginning. We went traveling on the 3rd of September 2018, and we bought one ticket to Bangkok and we went to a small town of Hua Hin in Thailand, and it was our first destination. First year was the most traveling year. We went to a lot of places. We visited many countries. We've been to Thailand, to Malaysia, to Taiwan, to Hong Kong, to Macau, Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, many places we visited, mostly in Southeast Asia, but also in the summer we went to Europe, we visited Poland, Netherlands, Germany, Slovakia, many countries there, several cities. We were really pumped for the first year. We really wanted to see new places. We didn't have so much work back then, we only started freelancing, so it was a great start for us. But at the end of the year, we kind of started feeling fatigue a little bit. We wanted to slow down the pace for a little. We wanted to go to Moscow for 6 months to settle down a little bit, reorganize, and but we decided differently.
Yes, and it was getting to September again, and after 1 year in Southeast Asia it was getting too cold for us. So we decided why go to Moscow if we can go to Bali and stay there for 6 months. So that's what we did. The plan was to stay there until March of 2020, but we all know what happened then. And our plan changed a little bit and we stayed for 1 extra year there. And in total we spent 1.5 years in Bali. So that was basically our second year. We didn't travel much. We went out for visa runs 2 times to Kuala Lumpur and to Philippines once. It was still a nice experience, but as we wanted, we didn't travel much. On the third year, at the beginning of 2021, we finally left Bali. We went to Turkey. We went to Antalya and Istanbul. It was really cool. We've never been there before. And then we went to Russia for a few months, just prepared all the documents we needed, visited our friends and family we hadn't seen for so long, and yeah, just prepared everything we needed for the immigration. But with everything going on right now in the world, our immigration process is being postponed a little bit. We don't know for how long. So we decided, while we wait, we still can visit a few more places. And that's how we got here. We are currently in Tbilisi, Georgia, and we are staying here for the next 6 months.
Yeah, so now it's September and it's exactly 3 years we have been traveling and digital nomading. We visited 20 countries and 30 cities during this period. I don't know if it's many countries and cities. Let me know in the comments how many countries you visited. And that's basically our plan for now. We're staying here in Tbilisi in Georgia, and in the beginning of the next year we'll probably move somewhere else. Or it depends on Canada, how the immigration, if it will start or not, we'll see. We don't know yet.
And while we're staying here in Georgia, we're still traveling a little bit. We went to Batumi and we went to Kazbegi. It was really nice. The next week we are flying to Kyiv for a weekend. Very excited.
Yes, so that was basically our 3 years. So the first year was really a lot of traveling, second year not traveling at all, and third year kind of combining the both. You can call it like slow traveling. Now we will share a little bit of our knowledge and tips if you are also planning to start full-time traveling. Let's start with general travel tips, and at the end of the video we will share a little bit like digital nomad remote work tips. The first travel tip from me, you don't need to prepare too much. You don't need to prepare everything. Don't try to do this. It's not gonna work. Usually it's not working. So try to research a little bit in some important things and then just enjoy traveling. If something goes wrong, it's totally fine, because in full-time traveling something goes wrong from time to time, and it's totally normal. So don't try to overthink things. Next tip from me, don't try to do anything in the airport. Don't buy SIM cards. Don't use the taxi drivers who stand near after the airport exit. Don't exchange the money there, because usually airport is the worst place in the city to do these things, to buy things, to exchange money, etc. Just go a little bit from airport, order taxi there, or use taxi apps, exchange money in the city, buy SIM card in the city. So don't do anything in the airport. It's the worst thing you can do. Next very important thing is to do research on areas where you're staying, because sometimes even if you have some expectations about the city, it could be ruined with not the right area, because especially big cities, they are really different. They could be like one area could be really great and one area could be run down and everything is bad in there. We had that experience in Istanbul, for example. We stayed in a very touristic area and it wasn't such a great experience. So do the research on the areas, because it's really make the difference.
Yeah, and wherever you go, you're gonna have your expectations about the place, but everyone's experience is very subjective. For example, if all your friends telling you that you're gonna love Bali or Istanbul or any other place, you could come there and it could be true, or it could be completely different from what you expected. But it's fine. Yeah, there's so many places in the world you can visit, and you for sure can find a good place for you. But since you can't know what the place is gonna be like before you arrive there, try not to commit for a long term before you actually come. So don't rent an apartment for 3 months, don't even for a month. Just maybe try to go there for a week and see if you like it. Maybe you don't like the area, maybe you don't like the apartment. I think if you go there for a short term, you can figure it out and just extend. And another thing good to remember, that the place you're gonna stay in while you travel is probably not your home, probably not anyone's home. It's most likely a business, so Airbnb or hotel you're gonna stay in. It's just a place that somebody arranged to and designed for people to live in, but nobody actually lived there before. So you have to accept that some things are going to be not perfect, some little things are going to be annoying, but if you come with a positive attitude, I think you're going to be fine.
Another advice for me is Decathlon is your friend. Because we discovered the Decathlon is the best place to shop for traveling. It's quite a cheap place and they have a cheap clothes, cheap stuff for traveling, and it's usually pretty good quality. I think it's the best place to buy stuff for traveling, and this store exists almost anywhere in the world, so you can find the branch and go there and shop stuff you need on the road. Another advice for me is about visas. Do the visa research, because I think visa situation could be quite complicated, and you should consider your passport, of course. All have different passports, all have different visa abilities, and it's better to research beforehand. Also, some countries could provide some digital nomad visas for your long stay, or maybe even residency for you, so do the research and it's gonna help you to stay there more comfortably.
Another thing about research, not only about visa, but you have to prepare additional documents. When you go to some place, it's not really required for the visa, but you might need to have a return ticket, for example. It happened to us one time. We traveled a lot and we never were asked for a return ticket, but then we went from Bali for 3 days, and to come back we were asked for it. Even though we were gonna stay there for 6 more months, we needed to provide some kind of ticket back in 1 month. So the things can happen and it's better to be prepared. And one more thing about the documents, try not to neglect your travel insurance. It's really important, and I know we did neglect it sometimes, but then we started thinking a bit more, and when, for example, Dmitrii went to try to learn surfing, he found a school that the courses included the insurance, and it was really great because you never expect bad things to happen, but sometimes they do. And when he broke his leg, it was really great that the school covered all the expenses and arranged everything with the hospital. So yeah, it was really saved us a lot of stress.
Yeah, because you never know how much money could cost the medical services in the country where you're going. It could be really, really expensive in some countries there you never expected it. Another great thing we learned is to find people wherever you're going. Because, well, sometimes traveling could be a bit lonely, and even if you're two people, and I can imagine how lonely it could be if you're just one person traveling, so it's better to always find some groups in the city or country where you're going, and it would be even better if it would be locals, because our best experience were there where we find some local people and they tell us a lot of information about their city, about their culture that you probably never read in the tour guides or travel blogs or stuff like this. So it's really improve your experience in the place. There are many places where you can find friends. For example, I use Nomad List a lot. You can find digital nomads in almost any city or country where you're going. Also meetup.com is pretty good. Unfortunately now it's not very active because of the situation in the world. But also Facebook groups, you can find like every Facebook group for every city you're going, because it's really popular still. So yeah, find friends, have a great time, and maybe you learn more from them. And last advice about the general traveling things is banking and financial management. It's better to manage your finances, always budgeting, always track your spendings. Also, it's pretty good if your bank allows you to, I don't know, maybe exchange the currencies inside the application or stuff like this. We have this bank from Russia that allows you to do this. And also know all the fees that could happen if you're withdrawing money from ATM in different countries. So better to research all that stuff with you, or maybe even talk with your local bank where you have a credit or debit cards. So it's great to be prepared, because it could cost you a lot of money to not know some stuff.
And a few more tips we wanted to share that are more applicable for digital nomads or remote workers. So first of all, it's good to have some plan for your job, for when you go travel somewhere. That's what we actually didn't do, because we were so excited to go travel the world and just be places. And we didn't even have any jobs back then, so we didn't think ahead. But it's really good to know that you're gonna have some work, you're gonna have some paycheck coming at your way at the end of the month, so it's gonna give you a little bit more peace of mind. So it's, yeah, just be prepared a little bit, but don't stress over it.
Yeah, I could add that you can also save the money. If you have a really big savings, you can travel on this money, so you don't need a job.
Yeah, sure, but some people, I know that they come visit places like Bali or some other places in Southeastern Asia, usually when it's low cost of living. People don't have any plan and they come there and they try to find a job there already at the place. I think it's not a good idea to do that, because you're actually not allowed to do this on a tourist visa. So do some research and plan at least what you're gonna do when you travel, so you'll figure it out. And one more thing, if you're working from home, if you can just work from your laptop, when you're looking for apartment, ask your host about the quality of internet, not necessarily speed, but how stable it is. And if you're not sure if that your home base will be stable and good enough for work, just do some research about the cafes and co-working spaces outside. I think there's a lot of information you can find online beforehand, so it's good to be prepared in this way.
And the last piece of advice from me for digital nomads and remote workers, first one is to buy a good setup, because, well, you never know what's gonna happen, and fixing your electronics outside of your country, outside the warranty, it's gonna be hectic from time to time, so it's better to have a great setup. Really reliable laptop, or maybe even the laptop stand, the keyboard, the mouse, whatever you need to work comfortably. So always think about this beforehand, because buying electronics, for example, abroad could be really expensive in some countries. And the last one is taxes and contracts. You better research research more about how you're planning to work with your clients, with your contract on freelance, and also research about the taxes that you need to pay at your home country or maybe in the country you're going. Maybe you want to apply for digital nomad visa. There's a totally different taxes could happen in that case, or maybe you're planning to live on local residency. It's another situation. So better to research more about this so you're not ended up in some tax avoiding situation. You maybe even want to open a company in the country where you're going. Sometimes it could lead in a really tax beneficial situation, as we did in Georgia. We opened a company here and it's really low income tax country. So yeah, it could be really great. So do your research. I think that's it, what we wanted to talk. Thank you so much, Veronica, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, if you wanted to see Veronica more on this channel, please let me know in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful, and subscribe to my channel and like if you like this video, and see you next time. Bye bye.